I was trying to make a point there. Yeah, I get used to it. This is the last time you're gonna see this weird shit in a video. Well, actually, no, that's a lie, but weird shit on this specific level. Me in a Ninja Turtle onesie with a lightsaber. Yeah, and why might you ask? Because we're talking about Leprechaun 4. Now, I was doing my Leprechaun reviews. I actually got to unzip this a little. It's uncomfortable. Yeah. Leprechaun 1, 2, 3, and I did those close enough together. This is actually very warm. I'm boiling. Oh my god, and I can't open a window. Ugh. I'm sorry, I gotta bail out. I gotta bail out on the joke quickly. I didn't realize it'd be that hot. Ugh, I'm all salty now. But yeah, we're here to talk Leprechaun 4, and wow. It's a lot to say, and I actually need my phone. I had all sorts of notes on my phone, and the thing about it is I watched it almost a year ago, and I had all these notes, and then I filmed the video and I thought it wasn't good enough, so I abandoned it, and then I just kind of put the whole thing on hold. Now, no one's going into Leprechaun 4, Leprechaun in Space. They're not going into that expecting high art. They're barely going in expecting art. They're just expecting a cheap piece of crap movie, and that's what you get. Like, really cheap. Like, cheap. My videos have better effects, staging, lighting, and overall quality than this movie did. I was hoping to have fun with it too, because the first 3 were a lot of fun, and then this one wasn't actually fun. The problem with this one, it was so cheaply made, so half-assed in every way, it wasn't even bad fun. It was just actually tedious to sit through, and I hated every second of it. With a few standout, like, okay, that made it kind of worth it to see just weird nonsense. This is like The Room for horror movies. It's just atrocious. So yeah, first thing to bring up, Leprechaun does in fact use a lightsaber. Which is an expected joke, and I'm fine with it. I'm just saying, he cuts off a guy's leg with a lightsaber. I'm like, that's actually what I expect. Give me more of that, and then they never really do. What do we get instead? An Aliens ripoff, which the whole movie's an Aliens ripoff. Leprechaun's in space. Not explain how he got there. And there's space marines hunting him because he's bad, and he like kidnapped a princess, and his idea is to become space king by marrying her, and she eventually gets into it. But then weird shit, like they're on the space marine plane, and he's just killing them all off in weird ass ways, like they shoot him, murder him, blow him up or whatever, and then they piss on him, like, yeah, piss on the Leprechaun, which, okay. And he goes up the guy's pee, like his leprechaun essence of magic goes up the guy's pee stream, up his pee hole, and I was like, things aren't gonna go good from here, they're not. And then we get later, the guy, first off, there's a guy that looks like Stallone in this, and another guy that looks like a cheap version of Christian Bale. So there's 2 famous celebrity look-alike rip-off dime store versions. So, yeah, and then the guy's going to have sex with someone, and then Leprechaun busts out of his dick. Instead of chest burster, he's a dick burster. And from there you get the level of jokes, and they didn't even have a funny joke about it. Like, Leprechaun, some joke about using prophylactics. It's like, that's the best you could do? You could have did better than that. I mean, at the same time, of all the jokes, that was one of the funnier ones, but still, that's not that funny. That's why you always use a prophylactic. Like Warwick Davis, you deserve better than this, sir. You do. The first 3, terrible, shitty, awful, but yet fun. This one, not fun. What the fuck? That was one of my notes. There's a guy with a metal head too, like their main dude had like half a metal head. And then where that goes, eventually Leprechaun takes him over and he dresses up in drag and starts dancing around. That's weird. And there's a dude that's basically built into a robot, where it's like a CD rack with wheels, and then the guy, it starts at his nipples, and then it's just his, I think he had arms, and then his head, he's just always, like the first scene he shows up was hilarious. People were talking in the background, you see just the head on a box slowly sidle up behind them, and he's just looking at him like, that's what's happening. And I started laughing my ass off, like, what is going on here? What the fuck? And that was like a video chat, and then he shows him, like, what is this shit? It's ridiculous, sci-fi, weird. And then from there, things just get weirder and weirder. A lot of the deaths aren't even that good. But then we get to a point where that metal guy gets turned into a giant spider. Just because. And then Leprechaun rips all the girls' clothes off, and she's basically dressed like she's in Baywatch. I don't know. And the other girl, the princess one I mentioned, Leprechaun wants to marry her, and on her planet, it's if you flash someone your boobs, that means you're condemned to death or something. I was like, okay, get your boobs in how you got it. And then eventually, Baywatch Girl and Stallone are running away from a giant leprechaun, like he gets super big, and the effects are so bad, I want to take a gun and blow my brains out. Ah, I don't want to take it anymore. Seriously, the movie gets so tedious and just awful. The effects, seriously, they couldn't even make it look decently, passably good. It's so horrible. Giant leprechaun just kind of walking around. I'm so big, but I can't kill you even though I'm 50 foot tall. What? There's no logic, and horror movies generally don't have logic, but this one didn't even have filmmaking logic at times. And then they basically just suck him out into space and he blows up and there's a giant middle finger floating in space. It's like, oh, I hate this movie. I hated every second of it. This is horrible. It's horrible. There is minor, I don't know what I'm doing there, but just minor little bits of fun that could be had. He has a lightsaber. Sometimes you laugh out loud because you're just confused and scared at the same time. Like, that's funny and I'm scared and I want to crawl up under a blanket and hide because it's just weird. The movie is weird and bad and horrible. Like movies like Sharknado and stuff like that, like, we're gonna be bad on purpose and it'll be fun. They don't even know. This movie is like the original Sharknado, where they were trying to do something sort of dumb, silly, but fun, and just blew up in their face. I don't know what was going on in this movie. Warwick Davis as the Leprechaun, he's still good, even though they gave him a terrible script, terrible jokes. He's never really funny. Like, a lightsaber made it sort of funny. But they didn't even give him any good, memorable jokes. Like in number 1, when he's on a pogo. That was at least a fun situation. And 2 and 3 had their moments. He did an Elvis impression. Like, there were certain things that just work sometimes. And this, it's a slap in your own face for watching it. Like, why would I subject myself to it? You watch it once, you never want to watch it again. So when it comes to rating this movie, I was trying to think, can I give it a D? You know, just because, like, there's a few fun moments that might make it okay. No, this movie is pretty much tedious and unwatchable. Sit through it once and see. Maybe you'll feel like you had more fun. And I did have some fun. Some fleeting little bits of fun. But reflecting on it, it's like, it's not something I ever really want to go back and watch again. I would give this movie an F. It is really a fail in every way. I want to take the movie and bash its brains in, stomp on it like Ryan Gosling in Drive, and shoot it out the space suction thing, give it a good suck on the way out, shoot it into space, and forget it ever existed. I hate this movie, even though it had little tiny microscopic bits of fun. I mean, really, there was a Sylvester Stallone looking guy. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, you know, Leprechaun. Hey, you want to fight the big fight? Like that. Yeah, Leprechaun in space gets an F. It's just horrible. Really, even talking about it just makes me in a sort of bad mood. Like, ugh, I feel dirty. I gotta go take a shower now. Salty sweat on me, just ugh. So anyway, comment below, tell me you thought of Leprechaun in space, and I'll be back soon. I'm trying to think if I should refilm the video, because I have my Leprechaun in the Hood video. It's been sitting on my computer for like a year, and I filmed it a year ago. So I think it'd be very weird if you watch it and it's me from a year ago talking. I'll watch it and see if it still works. If not, I'll refilm it modern time. I don't know. So we'll get Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun back to the Hood, or however it is, and then Leprechaun Origins. And if you thought I didn't like Leprechaun in space, wait until we get to Leprechaun Origins. The Hood ones, I will say, just to spoil it, I like them, and they're going to be more positive reviews. Leprechaun Origins, I'm going to unleash just pure hate on a level that has probably been unseen in a video. And yeah, it's going to be kind of enjoyable to do it. I very look forward to doing it. I'm going to unleash all hate. I'm going to give you guys a real treat in my disdain for that movie. Look forward to that. So yeah, look forward to those. And comment below, tell me what you thought of this movie, if you actually had fun with it, if you hate it, whatever your thoughts on this are. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.